Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Did It Work? My name's Nina, and today I'm making taco salad. This recipe is courtesy of Chrissy Teigen's her cookbook, Craving Hungry for More, and it is on page 58. In the cookbook, this is actually called a Cool Ranch taco salad. I am not using Cool Ranch Doritos. Don't worry, I'm not straying from the recipe because in here she does say to use whichever chips that you have on hand, and I just happen to have Fritos on hand, scoop Fritos to be exact, because I was eating dip with it. So let's go ahead and get started with making the dressing. I need 2/3 cup of vegetable oil, and I'm putting it in a mason jar so that I can shake it up because that's got to be the easiest thing to do. 1/4 cup of ketchup, 1/4 cup of distilled white vinegar, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and half a teaspoon of kosher salt, and a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. I have that in my screw top jar, so I'm going to shake to mix the oil, ketchup, vinegar, salt, sugar, all those ingredients. So sure the lid's on tight and shake, 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 shake. There it is. It actually looks good. Let's go ahead and give this a little bit of a taste. I'm not mad at this. So I have my dressing. I'm going to stick it in the refrigerator until I'm done so it can be cold, I guess. I don't know, but I'm sticking it in the refrigerator. I'm going to label this taco salad dressing since that's what it is. So I've moved over to my stove so I can start with the next section, and that is to make the beef mixture. First thing I'm going to do is heat a large dry skillet over high heat until really hot. So it says, put the whole ear of corn in the pan and DFWI, which stands for don't F with it, until the underside is charred. So about 3 minutes. Then I'm going to keep cooking and turning 2 more times until the corn is charred in spots all over. So this will take about 8 to 9 minutes. I think you can see it. My pan is still really hot. You can see smoke coming up from it, but it's starting to get brown on dark spots on it. Not brown, but starting to get dark spots on it. So it looks like I'm doing pretty good. So I've got about 2 more minutes. Okay, so now I need to remove these onto a plate. Set aside. Then I need to let my skillet cool down a little bit. So I'm going to move it off the burner to allow it to cool down a little bit. So I think my skillet has cooled down a bit. So now I'm going to turn my fire to medium high and keep going. So now I'm going to add my oil for the meat mixture. So I'm going to do this until it's simmering hot. It's pretty much got to be hot because that pan was smoking hot. So don't let it cool down too much. And then after that, we're going to add the meat, breaking it up and cooking it all the way through 5 to 6 minutes. So I'm breaking it up. And while this is cooking, I'm going to go over and start cutting my lettuce for the salad. Okay, so I have my salad container that I have in there. This is my salad bowl, so it's a spinner. And I'm just going to cut up my head of lettuce. She says to shred it. I'm not going to shred it. I'm going to just cut it up kind of like in shreds. I guess you could also buy the packet shredded lettuce if you want to, and it would be faster, but I'm not going to do that. So before I started cutting this, I had already cut this in half and rinsed it off and then let it dry. Okay, so I got this chopped up. It didn't take me too long to do that. And now I'm going to put it into my salad bowl. It's another reason why I like my plastic cutting boards. That was very easy. Okay, now I'm going to go and check on my hamburger. Stir my hamburger up and keep chopping it because this is going to pretty much be taco meat. I believe the hamburger that I'm using is an 85-15 mix, so I'm not going to have a lot of fat that's got to come out of here, which is good. If you are using a lower or a higher fat content hamburger, you will definitely have to drain this a little bit so you don't have all this moisture in there. I don't think I'm going to have to drain mine at all because I have very little moisture and I don't need to take it all out. Seems like it took me just long enough to cut up my lettuce and put it in my bowl for my meat to be fully cooked. Okay, so let's see what Chrissy says is next. Okay, so you're going to drain most of the liquid off from the pan, but leave enough to keep the meat moist. So keep the meat juicy is what she says. I don't have liquid in here, so I'm going to keep going. In a small bowl, I'm going to combine paprika, cumin, garlic powder, oregano, cayenne pepper, salt, and black pepper. Combine all that together. So, if you're curious what that was taco seasoning. So, if you don't want to combine all those ingredients that I just listed, go and buy you one pack that is 1.25 ounces of taco seasoning, and you can use that. So, this is what I have. So, I added that mixture to my hamburger along with a can of black beans that I drained and rinsed. Did that in a strainer. And a half a cup of water. I'm going to cook, stirring gently for 5 minutes. The reason why we're going to stir gently is because we don't want to mash up the beans. Okay, so while that is cooking, we're going to cut the corn off the cob. Okay, so here's my corn. I just have it standing up on its bottom. I'm going to take my knife. It's the same knife I used with my carrots. I'm sorry. This is the same knife that I used with my lettuce. Again, I'm going to just take it, hold it, and cut all the way down. It is not hard to cut. If you're having issues cutting, that means you're too far into the cob and you're cutting more of the cob than the corn. So this should come off very easy. I'm not using a lot of pressure at all. All right, there you go. I will say if I make this again, I will make this again. I will char this a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to put those aside. All right, I'm going to leave the camera over here and I'm going to go back to my hamburger and I'm going to stir my hamburger and then turn the fire out because it's done. And I'm going to give it a taste. All right, so that's got a nice kick of cayenne pepper in there. So next time I will put half as much as cayenne pepper in there because I'm a wuss and I don't do spice that well. But I'm going to tell you, that tastes exactly like taco seasoning. So you will never see me buy another taco seasoning packet. Okay, what's next? Tomatoes. It asks for 2 beefsteak tomatoes and I'm going to cut them into chunks. I'm going to use my serrated knife to cut the tomatoes because it cuts better for me. So I'm going to take the stem out where the stem came from. I don't know what that thing's called, but I'm just cutting around that and taking it out. Some people cut it with that in there and then take it out after they have it cut up. We do it this way, so I don't think it matters either way that you do it. I don't know if there's a good way to cut a tomato, quite honestly. And it says to cut it in chunks. I did forget to tell you, I already took the tag off and rinsed my tomatoes off as well. I rinsed all of my vegetables that I'm going to be putting in my salad off at one time. So, reading in this cookbook, so I did cut the corn off the cob and I needed to add it to the salad. I know everybody is yelling right now talking about take the colander out. You're not supposed to have it in there. Well, I like to have it in there because a lot of times your salad will produce moisture in the refrigerator and that way it falls off and I can keep it drained. I don't like that my salad setting in moisture like that. And next I'm going to put the tomatoes in. All right, what is next? Then I have my avocado. It took everything in me not to buy more avocados so that I could make some more of that cheesy guacamole, but I didn't. That cheesy guacamole is the best guacamole I've ever had. All right, you guys have already seen me cut up a avocado, so I'll be back. I am going to cut this onto a plate because I am going to put some lime juice on this so that these don't instantly turn brown because they're getting oxygenated because air is hitting them. Don't you love how I try to say all these words and I can't manage to actually say the right word? I know what the word is, I just can't get my brain to say it. Okay, add these to my salad. You know, I should have put this in a different bowl so I could toss it before I put it in here, but you know, I'm going to change bowls and toss it and put it back in here. All right, what's next? Then it has the option to add olives, and I'm actually going to add olives in mine. It called for sliced black olives. I got the can. I don't know if you can buy olives any other way, quite honestly, but I really don't know because I don't do olives very often. But I do like them in my salad. Drain them, toss those in my salad as well. So you also have the option of putting a chopped red onion in here. I don't necessarily like red onions or onions, period, in my salad. So I'm actually going to not do that. I'm going to toss my salad, fix a plate, and I'll meet you at the tasting table. Okay, so as I was transferring bowls to toss the salad, I want to show you something. Look at all that liquid in the bottom. That's the reason why I don't just put it in the bowl and I leave it in this, is because of that liquid. Okay, so we're at the tasting table. And the first thing I want to actually show you is the picture of this. This is the picture of what it is that we made, the taco salad. Here's the dressing, beautiful color, kind of looks like Catalina dressing. Kind of tastes like it too. It's very good. These are the chips that I'm using. Now, one of the things in this recipe that I'm doing different is she says to combine all of this. If you're making this for your family dinner and you guys are about to eat, combine it. I don't know how many times I'm going to say, it's just me. It's just me. So I'm not going to combine it. I've got my meat already in a container that will go in the fridge. And this will go in the fridge with the lid for this as well. Assembling my taco salad. Now, I like to crumble mine, so I'm going to just take mine, smash them in my hand. Rough crumble, so they're not all the same size. Then I'm going to put my salad on. I'm just using my fork. And then the meat mixture. Then I'm going to just pour this on here as much as you want. I'm a dressing person, so I'm pouring it on here. Then I'm going to stir it together. So here's mine. And I think I have a very close image of the picture. Hers had sour cream on the top of it. I'm not putting sour cream on mine because I don't eat sour cream on my taco salads. Two things that were optional that I didn't use, the two things that everything's optional, but the two things I didn't use that she has in there are the red onions and the sour cream. Here we go. This is delicious. This tastes just like I bought taco seasoning and I bought Catalina dressing to put on here. This is absolutely delicious. Chrissy Teigen has given me the means to make my own taco seasoning, so I will never buy taco seasoning anymore. I may never buy Catalina dressing from the store either. And this Catalina has a little bit of spice to it because it has cayenne pepper in it, which is really, really good. So this is a wonderful, wonderful mixture in here. The difference between this taco salad and the ones that I made at home, I didn't put black beans or corn in mine at home. I put cheese in mine, which there's no cheese in here. I'm not missing the cheese at all. This is wonderful. I am going to let you go because I'm going to eat this all up because I am hungry. Like always, love with your heart, cook with your soul. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Until next time, my name's Nina.